It's going to be a situation because a lot of kids are talking about it, and I've already called your mother, and she's on her way down here. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Like, you're not in trouble, but again, your family is famous. All of these kids are saying that your sister is famous, and it's going to be a problem because it's going to cause a disruption for the school. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? My sister is famous. I have one sister, and she is from Berkeley, California. I seen her last weekend. She's not famous.
Y'all, Keyshia Cole just set the internet on fire again. But this time, it wasn't even her speaking. It was her brother, Elijah, the one we rarely hear about. He publicly put her and their entire family on blast in the most humiliating way, saying he wished he had listened to his adoptive relatives and stayed away from them completely.
At 13 years old, having to find out that my sister is Keyshia Cole and that someone famous said my name on TV, and now I have a whole nother family that I didn't even know existed. Resenting and leaving the house because I didn't understand that I had a whole nother family that I wanted to figure out and find out, while my mother said that she was trying to protect me from, but I didn't get it because, again, I was a child.
You would expect Elijah to feel joy, right? But he didn't. For him, the revelation was like opening a door he couldn't close again. And just because Keyshia is famous doesn't mean she or her family handled things any better. Elijah claims they used him as a storyline for their reality show, then turned around and shamed him for his sexuality. After acting excited to welcome him into their lives, he says they abandoned him all over again. Child, we haven't heard a story this wild in a long time, because what, Elijah?
Ready? Are we up? I want you to understand that I'm going to be talking about everything that led up from 18 to now in my adult life living in this closed adoption. This story is going to get sick. It's going to get dark. It's going to get twisted. I want you to have patience. You're going to judge me. That's okay. I want you to judge me because those are real feelings and emotions.
Nowadays, Keyshia Cole is mostly mentioned because of her chaotic relationships. But back in 2006 through 2008, she and her family constantly had people talking because of her reality series, Keyshia Cole, The Way It Is. And for someone who always presented herself as the family's moral guide, always claiming she was on a healing path, Keyshia didn't hesitate when her relatives chose to disrupt someone else's life just to create a storyline. Because in case y'all didn't know, it was through that very show that Elijah discovered he was related to Keyshia and their mother, Frankie.
Because I'm like, wait a minute, did you say Keyshia Cole? I was gagged because she said Keyshia Cole was my sister, and I was still kind of stuck because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, no, Keyshia Cole is your sister. They said your name on TV Friday night, and you know I watch all of the shows.
Up until that point, Elijah was just a regular high school kid. All he knew about Keyshia Cole was that she could sing and that he loved her music. That was it. He had been adopted before he even turned 1 year old through a closed adoption, and his adoptive mother, Mrs. Asa, never once made him feel out of place or unwanted. In fact, for most of his life, Elijah didn't even know he had been adopted at all. The first time he sensed that something might be off was during a punishment. His mother had him organizing old boxes, and in one of them, he found his birth certificate. When he looked at the name listed under Mother, he saw the name Frankie. At the time, he brushed it off, assuming maybe she had changed her name. The thought didn't stay with him. That changed one morning when he arrived at school and immediately noticed something was wrong. The entire place was buzzing, and people were actively searching for him. Elijah wasn't allowed to watch reality television, so he had no idea what was going on. It wasn't until a friend pulled him aside and explained that his name had been mentioned on Keyshia's reality show. She had publicly stated that she had a brother who had been adopted years ago, and that brother was him. Imagine walking into school and suddenly being labeled Keyshia Cole's brother. For Elijah, it was overwhelming. Too much information came at him all at once, and he didn't know what to make of it. Later, his mother finally sat him down and told him the truth. He had been adopted. Because it was a closed adoption, no identifying information had ever been shared with his biological family. She also gave him a warning. Unless they personally reached out to her and requested to meet him, she advised him not to go searching on his own. Her reasoning was simple but heavy. Sometimes the family you discover isn't the one you hope to find.
My mother, she sat on the edge of my bed as I was sitting in my chair, and she said, I am your mother. I may not have birthed you, but I am your mother. I chose you. At one point in your life, you're going to be able to make the choice if you want to see your actual biological mother. I know you're young, and I know you have your life ahead of you, but these people, your mother and the family that you are biologically connected to, they have issues, they have problems, and there's a lot of things that you won't understand. And you're going to want to find them because they love you. I love you, and I'm protecting you.
Elijah later recalled the moment his adoptive mother finally told him the truth. She sat on the edge of his bed while he remained in his chair and looked him straight in the eyes. She said, "I am your mother. I may not have given birth to you, but I am your mother. I chose you." Then she explained that one day, when he was older, he would have the choice to meet his biological mother if he wanted to. She told him she knew he was still young and had his whole life ahead of him, but she needed him to understand something important. The family he was biologically connected to, she said, carried a lot of issues and unresolved problems, things he wouldn't fully understand yet. She knew he might feel curious one day because they loved him, but she wanted him to know that her love was about protection, not control. Elijah's mother worked as a daycare provider and even offered emergency housing for children in need. Because of that, it's likely she knew more about Frankie and Keyshia's family than she ever admitted. And as time would soon reveal, her words weren't just advice, they were a warning.
Here, and it's like, I wasted so much time of my life. I wasted so many moments that I could have been giving to the people that actually truly loved and cared about me. But instead, I chose a family and chased a family that didn't give a fuck if I was existing or not. Everything was stars, glitz, and glamour for them.
Elijah believed his mother was simply trying to keep him away from his biological family. Feeling confused and hurt, he made a life-changing decision. He ran away from home and reached out to an aunt who promised she could finally connect him with the family he had been searching for. At first, every attempt to meet them fell apart. Something always came up, someone backed out, or plans suddenly changed. Each failed try made him feel more rejected, but just when he was ready to give up entirely, his aunt surprised him by taking him to a Keyshia Cole concert. That night, they were able to meet backstage. Keyshia told him he should come by their house or their grandmother's place so they could talk properly and get to know one another. For Elijah, that moment felt like hope finally breaking through. He imagined a reunion filled with answers, acceptance, and maybe even love. But the excitement didn't last long. The moment he arrived at the house,